This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members only pay a $25 copay or less. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Mindful Drinking Movement podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Betancourt, former wino and party girl and contemporary healer. No, I'm a life coach and a hypnotherapist, and I help people reevaluate their relationship with alcohol so they can have more clarity, more mental freedom, more health, more physical activity, more joy in life with less drinking. Because culturally, waking up to really realizing and acknowledging and accepting and admitting how much I had put alcohol on a pedestal for most of my adult life and lived that way, just in the pursuit of when can I drink, and then in the remedying of drinking too much, waking up to the fact that this sucks. This sucks. We should not be living like this. Collectively, as a whole, we're so much better than giving in to this cultural norm that drinking every day and drinking all the time and drinking to excess is just acceptable and something to be shaken off and laughed about. And there are definitely good times, but there's certainly way better times to be had when we get more inner peace, when we have more of ourselves to ourselves, when we give less of ourselves over to a substance that we think has all of these magic powers and it doesn't. That's why I made this podcast. That's a little aside to the theme of today's episode, which is how to not confuse symptoms of a drinking habit with traits of your personality. So what I mean by that is when you have a drinking habit and you've really embedded it and as a part of who you are, as a part of your identity, it can be hard to separate the thoughts that you're having because you're in a depressed drinking state most of the time. If you are, and I mean, people who listen to the show are in various stages of mindful drinking, but if you are in a place where you have low-grade thoughts about yourself, where you put things off or cancel them or don't get around to them, if you have a persistent procrastination mechanism that's active, or you tell yourself that you can't do things or that things aren't possible for you or it will never get better, or if you just acknowledge the thoughts that you're having about yourself and your life and what you're telling yourself is possible for you and attribute that to drinking. Don't attribute it to yourself and who you really are and what your soul needs are and what you're on this planet to do and achieve. That is not it. That is not it. Your higher self, your connection to source, the deeper, wiser part of you would never talk to you the way that most of us talk to ourselves, which is in a really shitty, unloving way a lot of the time. Like if you wake up and the immediate thoughts you have are about your problems and how things will never change and you are this way, so just accept it. And then it becomes a really vicious catch-22 where you then go drink to make those thoughts and feelings go away. And it is that action and that repetition and that hamster wheel, as many people like to call it, that vicious cycle of thought that is just perpetuating this low-grade quality of talk that you're having with yourself It's not you. It's the habit. It is the alcohol. It is the depressing of your central nervous system that is causing you to feel low and uninspired and unmotivated, or like things will never change, or you don't have the ability to do or have the things that you want in your life. Those thoughts are not you from your highest good, from your highest sense of self, from your higher self. Those are not the thoughts that your soul is sending to you. Those are the thoughts that are being caused by a low vibration that is being held in place by consistently and chronically turning to alcohol to feel better or to solve problems. That being said, the way out, the way to break these thoughts that are driving the behavior, and then the behavior is perpetuating more of these thoughts, you have to interrupt the pattern. You have to break the cycle of thought and action. So action always follows thought, right? We think about doing something and then we do it. You never do anything that you don't instruct yourself to do internally first. So the way to interrupt the pattern of action is to interrupt the pattern of thought. You have to be able to contradict yourself. So if, for example, if you're having thoughts of, I just can't have this job that I want. I just will never, my life is not ever going to be the way that I want it. You must find some proof to the contrary. You have to stop talking to yourself that way. You need to give yourself the opposite as well. That's what else might be true? What else might be true? That can't be the truth. That's just impossible for you to have change, or it's impossible for you to have what you want. That is a thought. It is not a fact. And so to really be self-reflective in your thinking, catch yourself thinking shitty things, acknowledge that that's really not the truest part of you, that is a wounded part of you, that is an addicted part of you, that's the part of you that feels defeated or low, and attribute it to your drinking habit. Please do that, because then you can really see that this is not who you are at the core of you. The truest essence of you would never speak to you that way. So please do yourself a favor and assign these crappy low-grade thoughts to the alcohol, to the consistent intake of alcohol, or to your drinking habits in whatever way they look right now. You are not your thoughts. You can change your thoughts, and you must. You absolutely must change your thoughts if you want to feel better, and if you want to change a drinking habit or any habit or anything. You need to give yourself higher quality thoughts. So even, for example, if you woke up and you're listening to this hungover today, be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Think about, why did that happen? Again, maybe, but why did that happen? What thoughts led to that? And then change your thinking this morning or today. Change your thinking. Change your thinking. Look at the low-grade thoughts that you're having. Assign them as not you, just thoughts that you're thinking, that you have on repeat. Interrupt that pattern. Give yourself new thoughts. What else might be true is one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves. Don't make those crappy thoughts true. Don't make them facts. They're symptoms of downgrading your thinking and the way your brain functions by a chronic or a consistent use of alcohol, which is a depressant. So attribute it to that. Don't attribute it to you. And give yourself the wherewithal and the knowledge that you can change your thinking. In changing your thinking, you can change your drinking, and it's absolutely possible. You have to allow yourself the grace of what else is possible for you. Give yourself higher grade quality thoughts. And when you do that too, it does lessen the desire for drinking, because you tap into this deeper, more knowledgeable, wiser, older part of you that likes to speak well of you, that loves you, that wants the best for you, that wants higher quality, higher grade things out of life, or to use your life to create those things. You are not your thoughts. Choose better thoughts. Choose a higher quality, a higher grade of thinking, especially when you're feeling like you want to drink to turn off those crappy thoughts. That is the viciousness of the drinking habit. And the habit changes when you change the way that you are thinking about it. I just wanted to drop in and give you that note today. I hope you're having a good day. maybe this podcast didn't resonate with you. Maybe you're having a great day, and I hope you are. And if you're not, I hope that you can redirect your thoughts so that you can feel better, so that you can choose better for yourself. You can choose differently in any moment, any day, any time. So if that hasn't been your path thus far, start right now. I love you, and I will be back next week.